evening, everybody. Okay, so I am back here to do another reading for you all. Let's just take a moment to meditate on our energy, clear our space of any tension or negativity. Bring forth clarity and intuitive energy towards this reading to tell a story for today. I like to think of tarot as telling a story. So let's tell a story today, guys. Okay? So I have my guided tarot book. I actually got this from Vibe Below, but I kind of like this book a lot. I don't like necessarily do my readings based off of like the word for word definitions on this, but I feel like it's a cool reference point. And then I also have 3 decks for you guys. So this is the Illuminated Tarot deck, which is like a 52 card deck that has like some major and minor arcana cards that have double meanings. This is my Golden Art Nouveau Tarot deck. I use this deck to clarify for this deck. And then these are just a regular tarot deck, but these are major arcanas that represent the 12 astrological zodiac signs. So I'm going to be moving in order of this deck, this deck, and this deck. This deck I'm going to be basically shuffling and pulling a card to see who this reading will be for. I will do the past, present, and future reading for these, but I actually like to call it hindsight, insight, and foresight. More so to place emphasis on the reading energy for the reading rather than like tangible events. And then this one I use to clarify to help kind of like draw the storyline together. Okay, so now I went ahead and give that rundown for you guys. The reason why I want to say let's meditate on these energy for this reading today is because I want to feel who it is that I'm reading for. That way, before I even do anything such as like shuffling cards or anything like that, I can get a feel of who I am reading for, okay? And that's where it comes into the astrological cards. Now, there will be other placements that I may name, but once I do the shuffle, when it's you, you know it's going to be you. Now, in the last deck, I did do Gemini. So I'm going to go ahead and give every other sign a chance and take Gemini out of the deck this time when I shuffle around. And just to give you guys another chance to, you know, participate in this reading for today. So if you are a Gemini and you were sending me your energy and I just pulled your card out, I'm sorry. But, you know, your time will come again. Okay? So let's do a light shuffle because it's just 12 cards. Don't want to do anything too crazy. And I have me some sleepy time tea because even though it's like 8 o'clock, I am still sleepy. And after this reading, I will probably go to bed. Because as much as I love doing tarot readings, it do take some energy. So, you know, I might as well like wind down for the night after this anyway. So, bear with me, get cozy, grab you some tea as well. Alright, and stick around for this reading, okay? And I do read intuitively, so if there is a moment of silence, don't be discomforted by that. It's just me trying to understand and interpret the intuitive messages that I am receiving during this reading, okay? And I will shout out as much information as I can from seeing these cards. So this may resonate with more than one person that watches this video as well, okay? Man, it's really hard to shuffle these 12 cards when it's just 12 cards. It's like I'm just gonna try to like mix and match them. I would like put them all down and like scramble them around, but I don't wanna get a mess going. So I'm just meditating while I'm shuffling. Breathing deeply in and breathing out slowly. Inhale in. Exhale slowly. Alright, so the Temperance card flipped over. And that's exactly what I wanted, actually. I wanted a card to flip over rather than me have to shuffle them out. So, guess who temperance represents? That would be the good old Sagittarius. Ooh. Okay, so if you're a Saggy, come sit and have tea with me, because I'm a Saggy too. Okay, we have something in common. So, let's sit down and have a good old talk, buddy, old pal. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these cards quite a bit, just because I want the message to be a lot different than it was for the last person that I read, who was Gemini. So bear with me while I get to shuffle. I would prefer to shuffle off camera because I know that the cards are a little loud, but we're here now. I already got the setup going, so I figured, once I hit that play button, let's just carry it out as natural as possible. Because it is an intuitive read, Who knows what'll happen? It could be a sign. And I like the fact that I get to do this on YouTube because I feel like the messages can be delivered in a way that's more anonymous. Like, as much as I love tarot, reading a person in person definitely hits different than reading virtually. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people get a little bit shooken up by the accuracy of tarot, So, like, if it's online, it's one of those things where it's like, if it resonates, that's amazing. You've heard something you needed to hear, but if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't, and that's okay. So, but I say they always are surprised by the accuracy because tarot be saying some truth. They be saying some truth. But look, from the looks of it, you're a Sag, so you like truth. Alright, so the first card we have for the past energy is going to be the Ace of Diamonds. Now, let's break this card down before we clarify and talk about your past energies regarding this Ace of Diamonds card. And then we can talk about it, because this is actually one of those double meaning cards that has, like, it's a minor arcana and it's a major arcana card. If you can't see it, this is what it looks like. I hope that was close enough for you. I have like a little dimmer light on, but it's more about the message here than it is about the visuals. There's not too much to see here, just a few colorful cards. They're cute. I'll say them at least. They're definitely cute. But in terms of like physical action, it's not too much going on. And I'm gonna give it one, I'm gonna only show these cards for the beginning of the video, and then I'll just proceed with the reading as well. So I guess I could have, finished shuffling this down to got to reading, but we're here now. So, let's go with the flow. Based off of the little pamphlet that came with this deck, I'll read it for you guys. It says that the Ace of Diamonds represents the World card. This could be a card that represents peace, travel, or open-mindedness, okay? So, based off of this card and the details about it alone, this is a card that talks about being able to come from a place of being grounded or seeking groundedness emotionally. This is your past energy. And it could be that whatever it was that you recently dealt with, you've traveled to a new location to kind of like build a new sense of security for yourself. That's such a Sagittarius thing to do. Trust me, I know. Change your job, get a new crib, move across the country, move across the world, get new friends, get a new boyfriend, switch out your wardrobe, dye your hair. Like, we always like to switch it up whenever we're going through some sort of like something major in our lives. So in the past, there may have been like a very big switch up to kind of like help make you feel more secure. And I feel like that's big Sag energy, because it's like there are a lot of different types of people in the zodiac, in the world, and especially compared to earth signs. Now, we're not talking about the earth card here, but earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, they tend to be the kind of people who appreciate planning, consistency. Honestly, like, habits make them more comfortable, whereas for us, change, risk, opportunity, like, they make us more comfortable as Sagittarius because they make us feel alive. They make us feel like we are closer to fulfilling our purpose. Whenever we get to switch things up and change our reality, it makes us feel like we're more in control. And I feel like that's something that you may have recently went through in the past, okay? And this could be about being a very peaceful transition, There's something that you did where it's like you didn't even necessarily have to like make a big and urgent statement about it. Like, hey guys, like, I'm gonna move across the world, It's just something that you've done and you did it for yourself. So that sounds really good for you, Sagittarius. Now let's go ahead and clarify some of these energies, okay? Now, I brought up that little booklet, but now I'm like sitting here deciding to myself, like, do I want to intuitively read or do I want to pull up the booklet and then intuitively read? I almost feel like I have to intuitively read first, right? Let me take a sip of my tea. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and intuitively read, and then we're gonna summarize this past energy, this hindsight energy, to talk about what could have happened in your past recently, okay? Just wanna move that over. So we have that Six of Cups. This could be something in reverse. This could be something about feeling nostalgic, thinking about something that happened in your childhood, maybe even reflecting back on certain things from your childhood that you really miss. Trying to rekindle that inner child, okay? And then we have here the Two of Wands, which is giving that, it's like a surveyor's kind of, like, how when people used to like stand on big tall hills and used to just draw the land based off of what they could see as far as they could see it, like that. It would be the Two of Wands, like the person who just pretty much like is going to just do a big grand scope of what they have in front of them, right? And then you have the what is this? I want to say the Hierophant. Hierophant card. This is the Emperor. This deck. Guys, bear with me. I even want to double check before because I feel like that's the Emperor, but sometimes with this deck I get them confused because like I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the Emperor. Okay, so the Emperor is big Aries energy. This is big dominance energy, big taking control of whatever it is that you want in pursuing that. So this all in all looks like you're taking some time back from your past to kind of like reflect on what it is that you always wanted for yourself in your life and trying to move closer towards your purpose. And so this could be why you have recently made that shift, that move, that job change, that career change, that hair color change, the partner switch, whatever it is that changed in your life recently. It was because you did this for your inner child. And I think that's freaking beautiful. Shoot, I can relate to this in so many ways. Like needing to, it's a beautiful way to nurture your inner child, I feel like, by reflecting on what you've always longed for and sticking to it, you know? And I feel like that's how, like, it's easy to kind of like lose motivation in life by just kind of like quitting on your dreams or just feeling like you've already reached a certain point and now there's no turning back. It's beautiful that this past energy is kind of like revisiting the mindset of like, hey, I still know what I want. I definitely still know what I want. So I think that's beautiful, Sag. Now I actually want to go into your I introduced you guys a tarot book. Look it up. It's been at 5 below for a little while. I don't know if it's there anymore, but look it up, check it out if you get an opportunity. But I'm actually not even going to reference it right now. But I do want to move on to the next part of the reading because I just don't want to, take up your whole day. But yeah, this is definitely, looks like your past. You've been feeling very fiery and inspired, and it could definitely have something to do with the New Year's. So if I could give any advice to you about this energy that you have feeling compelled to move forward, it's already like the 5th. But like within the next 10 to 20 days, at least do it at some point in January. Set some tangible goals for yourself so you can do something that you can move towards what you want, and you can have a reason to celebrate. Give yourself a reason to celebrate by setting a tangible goal, something very simple, but something very important to you that is going to be catering to your inner child, so that when the next, like by the end of like say like springtime or even wintertime, you have a reason to celebrate yourself. And I think that's very important. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move into that insight energy. So I can definitely tell off bat, like, this is not necessarily a more romantic kind of reading. Now, you could have a partner that you're involved with that's beautiful and all, but this is not about them. It's not. As much as I would like to say that, it's not about them. It's about you right now, Sag, okay? And if you're single like a Pringle like me, then you know this wasn't about anybody else either. Because it's like, I'm not knocking anybody, but one thing I see often in tarot is, people like talking about like heartbreak and, who cheating on who, when will this person get back to me. And I think that like we all come here to find answers, but sometimes the answer is not necessarily in the other person as much as we would like it to be. Okay, so we have the Queen of Spades. Ooh, big tell it like it is energy, okay? The Queen of Spades is very tunnel vision, very quick-witted, very sharp, and intentional. She actually might even be the type of person who will tell somebody about themselves when they ain't really trying to hear it. But like I said, this is not nobody else. This is not a reading that's particularly about someone else in particular. Oh no. This is a reading that is for you, my Saggy-poo. Okay, so let's talk about this Queen of Swords. Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a little pamphlet and see what she sides too. Yeah, that's what it's here for. I mean, I could not read it. That's fine, but like, cause I like to just plainly intuitively read, but I'm also gonna, use the pamphlet because it's here. So let's. Okay, what she's talking? What is she saying, gal? The Queen of Spades. This is a lady of strategy, intelligence, and ambition. Okay, and I was just saying, make some goals. Make some goals before the end of January. So yeah, this is definitely like in this present energy. This is definitely the time to strategize. Know what you want and go and get it. But I feel like you knew that already, especially with that past energy. You know this. You know this. I feel like I'm reminding you, but like I didn't necessarily need to remind you, Sag. Like maybe you've just been procrastinating. But also, like, let me say one thing. Like, procrastination is definitely a sign of not being in the best mental space. So eat better breakfasts. Get a chance to work out if you don't work out already. Switch up your workout routine. If you do work out and you're still feeling not the best, shoot, wake up a little bit earlier. Force yourself out of bed if you have to. Do something to switch up your routine so you don't feel like you have to procrastinate. Okay. This card wants to come out. And this card wanted to come out. Boom. So, and then we have the sun card, which is, happiness, your inner child. Great energy. So let's talk about this feeling of strategy and ambition. Ew, we love to see it. We love to see it. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the Three of Wands. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm just gonna meditate on these cards for a moment. Okay, so in this current energy, feeling ambitious and feeling strategic, it makes these three cards are making a lot of sense for you, Sag, because we have the Knight of Swords, which is someone who is usually very young. They move quickly and they move with intelligence. However, this is definitely about making sure that you don't move too quickly. Like, you don't skip over any important steps. This is a card that definitely emphasizes the need to draw out even the tiniest of details. That will be important, because Sagittarius tend to get so fiery and passionate that they often incomplete their projects. They get started on one thing, and then while they're doing one thing, boom, a whole other idea comes up. Which is, a great feeling. It's very empowering. It's like, oh man, this current thing is just going so great. I can't wait to get started on the next thing because it's going to be even better. But it's like, whoa, hold up, slow your roll, Sag. You still got this other thing to focus on. So this is definitely talking about like strategy, you know, like you have the intelligence to get what you want. You just need to be more meticulous about how you get things done, okay? Because this Three of Wands is about you seeking opportunities in the world in front of you. And I like this card because, you know, it doesn't necessarily say it, and I'm sure if I were to even open up the pamphlet, it wouldn't say it, but the energy that I'm even getting right now is very much about you finding these opportunities by speaking to the universe and delivering what you want, either through communication or whatever it is. And you know, I feel like people always be like, move in silence, and I said this in the last reading, but like, your words have power, you know. So talk about what it is that you want. And I'm not saying brag to people. There's a difference between bragging and just simply like knowing what you want and feeling comfortable enough with it to deliver that to the universe, no matter what, you know. Because if it's meant for you, it's gonna get to you. Even if somebody don't like you, if you got a hater, whatever, boo-boo, child. If it's for you, the obstacle is gonna blow right to them and past you, okay? So definitely start seeking opportunities from your environment, your immediate environment, to help you move towards your goals this month, help you plan out your goals. So if you're like, I don't necessarily know my next move, this is the time to seek within your network, you know, and see what you can do and what's going to be most beneficial for you at this time within your current network, okay? And then the Eight of Pentacles talks about needing to get in reverse, specifically. It talks about needing to get more work done. Now, you know, this is a time for you to work, okay? Strategy and planning they're useless without getting work done, you know? So think about what it is that you need to do. Plan it out meticulously. And I don't want to say too meticulous. Don't be too detail-oriented to where you're focusing on the wrong things, but be just enough detail-oriented to where you're not skipping over major steps. Like say, for example, like budget or, you know, time or, you know, not planning enough time for like friends and family. Like plan, but don't over plan. You get what I'm saying? Make a clear and simple plan for yourself so that like when you go out and you're in your community, you have something to say to your community so they can go on board with you, okay? And in that way, you can, when you do the work, it feels like you're actually starting to achieve your goals. It's starting to feel like you're working towards your goals, okay? So definitely, this is a time where being strategic, being ambitious, using your wit, using your resources is definitely going to be beneficial for you, okay, Sag? I love how this is going. Love how this is going for you, Sag. I don't even want to say you, us, because I'm a Sag too. Us. I resonate with this. Us. I resonate with all my readings, but, you know, for different reasons. Now, the Ten of Wands is trying to come out, so don't put too much on your hands. Make a simple goal for yourself. Don't do anything too dramatic. As beautiful it would be to like have like overnight success and fame, you'll have to carry that overnight success and fame burden, if you know what I mean. So don't weigh yourself down. Just make simple goals for yourself. Very simple goals. Take baby steps even. That way, when you do get a chance to celebrate yourself and you do plan on, you know, moving on up for yourself, it could really feel like you're leveling up instead of like burning yourself out. Let's talk about the foresight energy or the future energy. You know, and I hate to say future because it's like, it's not that I'm necessarily here to predict your future. But I say foresight energy because it's usually some sort of like, what is the next transitioning step, you know? We're just shuffling here, giving it up to the universe so we can see. All right, so we have the Nine of Diamonds. This is the Hermit card as well. So the Nine of Diamonds is also, it definitely talks about putting yourself in a place to where it can mean two things. It can mean that you're doing well for yourself. It could mean that you are in a more financially stable position. It could mean that you are just into the finer things in life. This could have something to do, this is telling me like whatever it is that you're aspiring to do has something to do with aspect of Venus. That could be beauty, love, creativity. So if you're into some sort of like painting, if you're into like doing magazines, photography, making clothing, making like soaps, jewelry, any sort of crafting, this is a time where a lot of creativity will start to flow to you. That's what it's looking like for this future energy. But what this is also telling me is that this is a Hermit card, seeing as how this card is a shellfish or crawfish or sailfish, not crawfish. This is the Hermit. And I can read, you know, what the pamphlet says. Because, you know, he doesn't like a little insight. Okay. So the Nine of Diamonds, it represents the Hermit. It's talking about sacrifice without regret or self-care. Okay. Now, the Hermit is one who typically is the type of person who, Virgo energy, big Virgo energy, but it's also a person who spends some time alone, but not necessarily, you know, out of sadness, but because they're typically the type of person who gets more work done when they're alone. So it doesn't necessarily mean you need to isolate yourself from friends, but in the future, this may be a time where like you're paying more attention to what you need to get done, and you, as a result, you're ending up, you know, by yourself. But it's not like, it's not giving me a sense of like, oh, I'm scared to be alone. It's just kind of like, it just kind of happens. Self-care, emphasis on self-care. And it's more than just like saying like, oh, I mean, you could be changing your diet, you could be exercising, getting a haircut, all that, but it could also just be, very much of just focusing, like in alignment with what this reading is. It's just getting more focused, Sagittarius, on what you want and making time, making space for your own desires. Damn. Okay, this Ten of Wands wanted to come out again, but in a different deck. So I'm gonna pull it out. We're gonna see what the clarifier is saying, and think about why that just came out, especially when it came to the self-care card, the Hermit card, the Nine of Diamonds, the luxury feeling card. Why is there a Ten of Wands here? Why is that burden peeping through? We're gonna talk about that because Sag, maybe you all know to something that we ain't seen yet, and I think we're uncovering it here. This is the Hierophant card. Okay, this is a card that's like, it's about it's like, I don't want to say, it's about making decisions. Okay, how can I put this? Because it's very similar to the Judgment card, which, I mean, you haven't seen yet, but it's about being very I almost want to say like diplomatic, very sensitive to the situation around you and making decisions based off of what your environment that is going to be the most favorable. So I almost wanted to say Judgment, but Judgment, I feel like, weighs more options on like tangible results, whereas the Hierophant is more so like spiritual and intuitive. So this is going to be a card that represents kind of like a what do you call a person when they're really good at being a leader? It starts with a D, but it's not coming to mind. But this is very much like a good decision maker, good leader kind of card. Definitely a stable energy. Stable, it's not a word. This is also a Taurus card, very grounded, making a lot of reliable decisions. So if there is something that you have to choose, whatever it is that you may have been weighing on recently, if there was something that you have been weighing on, it's probably going to be a good decision. And then you have the Lovers card. Okay, this is Gemini energy. So this could also be that in your future, maybe even later this year, sometime around May or June, you know, towards the Gemini season, you'll start to see more rewards, fruits of your labor that you get from this whole strategic planning effect. But this could also talk about duality, a relationship that will come in. This could be either a romantic relationship or a creative partnership. Or like a really good compatible work partner as well. That's what I mean when I say creative partnership. But this could be someone that you could collaborate with. Some sort of collaboration could occur, or this could be you meeting a partner or meeting a romantic partner during this time, during the future, or maybe even possibly during Taurus Gemini season. But you know, even though I said this wasn't because it's still not a romance. Like, I can mention a partner, but it doesn't make it a romance reading. You know, it just means that somebody else. There's something else to consider in your process, in your journey. Not the worst thing, but it's almost very much giving like between your partner and or whatever creative collaboration and you. This is the time that you have to still, no matter what, you can still pour into that other cup, but you still need to give to yourself here. This is definitely a message of saying, like, you can have that duality with another person, but continue to give to yourself here, because, like, what follows next is the 10 of Wands, and boy, do all those sticks look heavy, okay? Don't nobody want to be going around carrying a bunch of sticks that's bigger than them. Don't overwhelm yourself. You know, I'm getting the feeling that, like, if there is some sort of like situation where you're even a job opportunity that comes up to you, don't allow it to take up too much of your time and yourself. You know, definitely continue in your future to prioritize yourself here, because even though you will be caring for yourself, this is a very fruitful time for you in the future, especially. And it would just be terrible if you were just feeling weighed down, Sag, because I know how you get. I'm a Sag too. When you just got too much going on, it's gonna bring you to want to escape again, and you'll end up back at this beginning cycle of thinking like, damn, what did my inner child want? Don't even get there, you know. Play the balance game. You could come across a Taurus, you can come across somebody that's a Gemini, you know. You may even have options between the two. But play the balance game, okay? Because there will be nothing more unfortunate than intending to put all this work in for yourself and then feeling burnt out. Don't do it. You don't deserve to feel burnt out. You deserve balance. You deserve to be able to embrace yourself and care for yourself. Okay? So, with that being said, that is the hindsight, insight, and foresight reading for Sagittarius. And I'm going to go quick summary for you all, basically saying that all in all, what this reading was about was to take some time to reflect on your inner child. In the past, you took in some time to reflect on your inner child, reflect on what it is that you want, and take action towards moving towards that. Okay, so you could be traveling, you could be changing, you know, your hair, your job, you could be changing something in your lifestyle to basically help you move forward to where you want to be. okay, Sagittarius. And then as far as insight energy, this is about making goals, planning for yourself, really recognizing more than just feeling ambitions, but really taking action towards those ambitions and making sure that they can be tangible enough for you to reach, okay? And then as for this foresight energy, it's definitely about paying attention to putting yourself first. Definitely, you might come across like other opportunities to collaborate people. You might come across romantic opportunities, but at the end of the day, do not allow yourself to indulge too much in those situations, because this is also a card about indulgence. Just put yourself first. Even if those situations feel good, just always remember to put yourself first so that you can get where you need to go at the end of the day. So thank you, Sagittarius. Boom, shakalaka. Big ups, because I'm a Sag too, and I love my Saggies. So have a good night. Take care. Peace out. Deuces.